Welcome back. Today we're going on a little detective mission into a super common garden mystery, one that can leave your plants looking, well, pretty scarred and unhappy.
You know what I'm talking about, right? These strange, winding, kind of creepy white trails that show up on the leaves of your chard, your spinach, even your citrus trees. If you've seen them, you've met our culprit. So let's unmask this tiny vandal and figure out how to protect our gardens.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start by identifying this garden graffiti and who's behind it. Then we'll dive into its life cycle to find its weaknesses. After that, we'll cover all the bases, from simple organic fixes to stronger sprays, and we'll wrap up with the most important part, prevention.
Okay, first things first. Who is this tiny artist that's vandalizing your garden? Well, here's the twist. It's not just one single type of insect.
The term LeafMiner is really just a catch-all name. It covers the larvae of literally hundreds of different species. You see, the adult insects themselves are usually super tiny, and you'd barely notice them. But their babies, their offspring, leave behind this unmistakable, winding damage as they eat their way through your plant's leaves.
And here's the key thing you gotta understand. The damage you're seeing, it's not from the adult insects you see here. No, it's from their kids. The larvae are ingeniously protected inside the leaf, literally munching away on the tender tissue between the top and bottom layers, completely hidden from sight. It's like they're living inside their own lunchbox.
So, if we're going to fight back effectively, we have to know exactly how this whole infestation happens. It's all about the life cycle, so let's break it down.
This life cycle is so clever, and it's exactly why they're so tough to control. For their entire destructive phase, they're completely sheltered inside that leaf, safe from predators, safe from most sprays. They're literally living in their food. Then, when they've eaten their fill, they just drop down to the soil, transform, and pop out as an adult to start the whole frustrating cycle all over again.
Now, leaf miners aren't super picky, but boy, do they love the fresh, tender new growth on plants like these. And while the damage might just look cosmetic at first, it's actually a big deal. Those tunnels reduce the plant's ability to photosynthesize. It's like someone's cutting holes in its solar panels. This can stunt its growth, mean a smaller harvest for you, and in bad cases, it can even kill young plants.
So you'll want to mark your calendars. Early spring and early fall are prime time for leaf miners. That combination of warmth and humidity is just perfect for the eggs to hatch and the larvae to go to town. This is absolutely when you need to be out there inspecting your plants if you want to catch an infestation before it gets out of control.
But hey, here's the good news. You don't always have to reach for sprays and chemicals. Your first line of defense is simple, it's super effective, and it's totally hands-on.
Honestly, this is the best way to stop the problem before it even begins. Just get in the habit of checking your plants once or twice a week, maybe when you're watering. See those little white eggs? Just wipe them off. See a small trail starting? Just follow the line with your fingers and pinch. Yep, you're literally squishing the little bugger inside. It's that simple, and it's really effective.
Now listen up, because this part is so important. If you've got leaves that are heavily infested, you need to prune them off right away. But whatever you do, do not just toss them in your compost pile. Your compost is warm, it's cozy, it will basically become a 5-star leaf miner factory. The larvae will happily finish their cycle in there and emerge as adults to reinfest your entire garden. You have to break the cycle. Seal those leaves in a bag and throw them in the trash.
Okay, so beyond getting your hands dirty, you can also recruit some powerful allies and build some smart defenses for your garden. It's time to call in the cavalry and build some fortifications. So here we've got a 4-pronged attack. First, you can call in nature's tiny assassins, parasitic wasps. They're harmless to us, but they lay their eggs inside the leaf miner larvae. Game over for the leaf miner. Second, physical barriers like floating row covers are like a force field for your plants, stopping the adults from ever laying eggs. Third, remember how they pupate in the soil? Gently raking the soil around your plants exposes those pupae to predators and the sun. And finally, sticky traps are great for monitoring and catching the adult flies before they can lay more eggs.
All right, so what happens if things get really out of hand, or you just want to be extra careful? Well, sometimes sprays are a necessary tool. So let's look at the options in our arsenal.
When it comes to organic options, you've got some great choices. Neem oil is fantastic. It can stop adults from laying eggs and mess with the larvae's appetite. Spinosad is another winner. It's made from a soil bacterium, and it works when the larvae eat it. Now, chemical options are the heavy hitters, but you really should use them as a last resort. Why? Because they can also harm the good guys, like bees and those parasitic wasps we just talked about. And a huge tip,
Always apply sprays in the evening. This helps protect pollinators and prevents the sun from burning your plant's leaves.
And this brings up an absolutely critical point. Timing is everything. Spraying works great against the eggs on the leaf surface, but once that larva burrows inside the leaf, it's armored up, it's protected. Trying to get it then is like trying to hit a submarine with a water pistol. It just doesn't work well. This is why prevention and acting early will always beat reacting to a big infestation.
Okay, now let's talk about the long game. Because the absolute best way to deal with leaf miners is to make your garden a place they want nothing to do with from the very start.
All of these strategies are about creating a healthier, more balanced garden. Crop rotation messes with the pupae that are waiting in the soil from last year. Good hygiene takes away their hiding spots and egg-laying real estate. And strong, healthy plants, just like healthy people, are way better at fending off attacks. It's about building a resilient garden, not just constantly putting out fires.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's that there's no single magic bullet. There's no one spray that will solve all your problems. The real key is using a combination of smart, simple techniques. It's about being observant, acting fast, and creating a healthy garden environment from the ground up. And here's a final thought to chew on. Instead of just getting mad and reacting to the damage, what if we saw a pest like the leaf miner as an invitation? An invitation to look a little deeper at the health of our soil, the strength of our plants, and the overall balance of our garden. You know, pests often go for the weak plants first, so maybe they're not just a nuisance. Maybe they're a messenger, telling us where we can become better gardeners.